The key questions are: how do leaders create an environment that delivers the opportunity for personal growth and professional development? How they enable mastery, and how do they make that happen every day? It's from the chapter Learn, Add a Legacy, what the All Blacks can teach us about the business of life. You can't do that, man. You can't do that here. This is a construction site. All I'll say is, it's exactly what we're doing inside construction school. And if you don't think I can do it, get in and have a look, because I'm not talking about it, we're doing it. Right, so we've done the opening. This week I've been thinking about the book All Blacks. Yeah, done that bit. All right. Real problem in most organisations is improvements treated like an event. They run workshops. HR does a whatever, some sort of a program. It needs to be a loop, a continuous feedback loop. Elite teams don't operate like that. They don't just run workshops or meetings or retrospective. All Blacks built that daily culture by a loop that is very similar to this. We're going to use, I hope I actually did this. I bet I didn't. Right, what I'm going to do right now is, before we get right into this, I'm going to pull up a video by our mate Christian Burkosis, who wrote this book, The Afterburner Advantage. This is the key to all of it. If you don't get anything else, get this. What he says in this short video, he's absolutely nailed it. Let's get down here. Where are we? Show all. Let's have a look at his recent posts, videos. There's one.
The simplest way to execute better is to embrace simplicity as your mantra. We have a saying as a fighter pilot. The simplest way to execute better is to embrace simplicity as your mantra. We have a saying as a fighter pilot, make the complex simple and the simple compelling. With our system as flawless leader.
Write that down. Make the complex simple and the simple compelling. Simplify it. We've got to make it compelling so people actually buy into it and want to do it. Exactly what we're doing in construction school.
There is one dashboard, one system, one way of communication that can happen with 2 people in the room, or a town hall with 200,000 people on a call. And this is where technology and humanity gets it wrong. They're like, oh, it needs more features. It needs more stuff. We need to do more. That actually creates friction, that more uncertainty, more ambiguity, more training, more complexity. Drip it all out. The minimum number of tools, the fewer systems that allow you to get the job done. Absolutely. You go to a carpenter and say, here's 6 hammers to do the same job. And that's all you say. The builder's going to go, well, what's the difference between all the hammers? And I don't want to use the wrong one. I might make a mistake. I'm just going to keep using my old hammer. Tools are tools. Whether you're a business person or a tradesperson, doesn't matter. A tool should help you get the job done. And when you have too many of them, it makes it harder to get the job done. The simplest way to...
So the ultimate tool to improve every day, which is what we're doing, building a continuous improvement loop. Better people make better All Blacks. That is the crux of the book. People get better every single day. The team gets better. The results, as they say in there, that formula produced a little gold cup. All right, so what we are covering today, I'm going to show you 3 things. We're going to introduce into construction school something called the Captain's Run. Again, this was taken from the All Blacks legacy, or what the All Blacks did, okay? So their last run before they go out and play as a team, the players and the captain run themselves, not run by the coaches, not run by their support staff, whoever else would normally run the sessions. The players run that session themselves. We're going to incorporate that into construction school. You'll start to see that coming up. It's not about coaching. It's about the team running this process themselves, or their daily improvement loop. Show us what you're doing on your side. Show us your version of this. How's it working for you? This will become a weekly session run by the community. Someone inside the network runs it, because real improvement networks don't rely on the founder, me. Otherwise, I'll become the constraint in the system at some point. There's only so many of sessions that I can run, so many times I can do it, so many different projects that I can be working with at one time. The map of daily self-improvement. Again, this is out of the book Legacy. This is not about vague goals. It's about a visible system for getting better. Now, it's going to be a lot better than this. I'll show you a sheet that I've got at the moment. Have we got mocks here? This is the, see that there? This is a rough version of it at the moment. There's a couple of crucial pieces to this. So number one, there's an outcome goal. You can see that right at the top. Outcome is Wyndham School Games, Q3 2026. That's my outcome that I've got for this year. Then I've got process goals. Remember he said before, you have to get people, give them a process, but then get them engaged so that they want to do it. Make that compelling. Make that, the big goal makes it compelling. Then we run these little process goals. So I did one there where I YouTube lived on my phone. I did it again because I only got 3 in on the first one. Over a 10-day period this is what's using what's called a pact. They were little experiments. Like, yeah, I'm getting more views, but it's not really doing what I wanted it to do. So we started focusing on building rituals inside of school. That's still happening every single day. I decided I want to do a neuroscience course because I really like the effect that neuroscience has, or trying to understand neuroscience to understand how we think or why we do what we do and how that impacts our ability to deliver goals, which is what we're doing on projects. Got a heap of goals that we've got to deliver. How do we make it, get ourselves more engaged so that we deliver those goals more often? The neuroscience course but was all about math. It wasn't actually what I wanted it to be. I did the full 10 days of it. I got to the end of it and went, you know what? I'm really struggling to understand this side of it, the math side of it, the formulas and the equations. I'm moving far too slowly to be able doing this, to be able to make my Misogi, which is win the school games. This is not going to have a big enough impact. This is not the best place for me to spend my time and attention. What it worked out is I've been procrastinating on it for too long and I've just stopped and got moving with it tomorrow. I started yesterday, learn how to use Claude. So what I've been doing here on ChatGPT, we're going to take this to the next level. So the map of daily self-improvement, now that you've seen that now, I'll take you back to my magnificent drawing that I've got on my pad just here. This is built on a lot of science. You might have used SMART goals, heard about SMART goals, been told SMART goals are a good thing. Forget about SMART goals. They're not based on any science. In fact, the only place where they've actually been tested, the science says that they are counterproductive and stop you achieving your goals. That's the only real data that they've got on. There's nothing to suggest that they make achieving goals, or there is evidence to suggest that they actually stop you from achieving goals. So we have our big outcome goal, which is my Misogi to win the school games for Q3. Process goals. 10 days, I'll split those down into. That's from the book Tiny Experiments, where the process goal for the people I'll be working with is to get them start using ORCA. All right. Then we want to track our rate of progress, and then we need to obliterate the obstacles which are going to stop us from achieving our process goals. You'll see on that page there, although it's not great at the moment still, the way that I track it, we're going to improve this. Claude's going to do a lot of this. So I'll go through and give myself a tick each day. So if I did my process goal today for Claude, that would jump to 20%. I haven't done it yet. The way that we obliterate our obstacles is we put them up in our face. So I put red days in there when I failed. So you might have something like, Saturdays are no good for me, Benny. I go take the kids to sport in the morning. By the time I get home, it's chaos inside the house. We're doing this, that, and other. All right. So Saturday is highly likely to be a failure point for you. What can you do? All right. What we can do is we get the app on our phone, the What Shoots Me app on our phone. When it's half time at the kids' sports, we go and do a quick ORCA in that gap, in that little window, a half time during the kids' sports day on Saturday. So you keep your streak alive. We back off what you're going to do on that day because you know it's a highly likely failure rate. All we're trying to do here is keep the streak, keep the process in place like I am. Day 113 today, I think it is. So these goals, is that the end of it? Hang on, there might be one more thing that we need to. Just let me get back here. I'm driving this and solo. Track our rate of progress. We obliterate the obstacles that are going to stop us getting to our goal. Okay, saw that, but we make it all visual. What's going to happen is we're going to have a overall goal, which is to do 100 hours of ORCA, because once you get to 100 hours of what they call deliberate practice, again, taken from the book Legacy, we're not going through the motions, we're deliberately practicing to get better. Sometimes I've done with ORCA, this whole ORCA process and these live streams where I'm on a day 113. It's not just turn up and go, oh, I'm doing my ORCA today and I'm on day 22 and that, and I'm getting really fucking sick of it. No, it's about how do I turn up every day and improve this process, get it a little bit better than it was the day before. Okay, so we're deliberately practicing under pressure. That's why I do it live, so that I don't just, there's people watching, there's people waiting for me to trip up. I do it deliberately under pressure to improve. So what's going to happen is we'll be able to do our ORCA. The ORCA will feed the data and tell it to update a sheet. Like, it'll go and tick off bang, bang, bang in the sheet. Yes, you did your process goal today. It'll ask you that question. Did you do your process goal? Yep. How many minutes did you do of deliberate practice? And then we'll push a little chart like that. And we'll forecast when we reckon we're going to hit our 100 hours. And then we'll run another one against it. S-curve, for want of a better term. Forecast versus actual. See whether we're on track or we're off track. What do we need to do? Do we need to spend more time doing deliberate practice? Are we getting behind? Are we missing days? If we're missing days, why? What's the obstacle that keeps getting in our road, stopping us from doing what we say we're going to do? That's going to get built on Claude. Inside construction school, you'll get access to that. It's already started building it with Claude. And where is construction school actually heading? So we're now on day 113 into the ORCA experiment, okay? Something interesting is starting to form. It was to start off with, it was to get, I've never been good at journaling or tracking, all right at tracking my progress, not great at tracking my progress, never good at journaling, and didn't really have a decent process in place to, although I do improve every day, to show where that improvement comes. Oh, to visually show where that improvement is. Okay, that's what this dashboard's about thinking. Something bigger has emerged other than from it, but if you go back to the title of this post was, what do you say? Let's jump back on LinkedIn and have a quick look. I was doing thinking time session, which is something that I picked up out of the book. The Road Less Stupid by Keith Cunningham is something that Keith teaches, okay? I've amped it up with AI. When Keith came out with thinking time, AI wasn't even a thing. So the BangerBot said, you've accidentally built a Toyota-style operating system for Megaprojects, the way that you're building what you're doing. What I said back was, it wasn't an accident. This is cognitive learning that I've been putting in place, structuring, using the ORCA process to improve it bit by bit every single day. So Think of it like this, right? Toyota, manufacturing has the Toyota way. Aviation has the fighter pilot debriefs, Flex and ORCA, which we'll use. This is the how. How we do it, but we need the who. Who can actually get it done. What we're building is, construction has project management, which has been an abysmal failure. That's why delivery keeps failing. So what we're building is something different. It's called delivery, project delivery. Any project management playbook. There's a killer TED talk by the guy who took over the company, Chobani, the yogurt factory. That's where the idea came from. It sits inside a very simple operating system, which I call the catalyst daily loop. Catalyst is the person that removes friction and changes people's thinking so they can do things better. The simple process is our morning pre-starts. We teach people to see waste, 90% non-value added activity, and we teach them to see flow. What's the stuff that's moving the needle, that's moving the job? Separating the noise, people's opinions, from signals. What's the dashboards telling us on the key metrics that we're actually measuring? Actually, we need to go and measure our metrics. Don't forget that. We'll do that next. Skip that. Got an issue out in the field, we stop and we fix it. We run the ORCA process. Once we've done that, we create a lessons learned, not the end of the job, not when we get time, not 3 months after we finish a job, and it's not in anyone's memory, fresh in anyone's memory anymore. A lessons learned immediately with photos and videos, and we share them to school. That creates what's known as the Japanese call Yokoten. Gets disseminated laterally across the organisation. Everyone gets to see where you found an area of improvement. We keep repeating that. That spins up. It's like a flywheel. Each time it does the loop, which is daily, catalyst daily loop, not the catalyst when I feel like it loop, not the catalyst weekly loop, certainly not the catalyst monthly loop, the catalyst daily loop. Operators improve projects using that simple cycle. That's how real improvement spreads through our projects and across our organisations. Okay? This is where we think this is heading. I got the AI to forecast, or it actually did it by itself. It come back to me and said, this is what you're going to see from the compound effect of what you've been doing. So phase 1 was signals, day 1 to 100, daily ORCA posts, testing ideas, finding the signals, what worked, what didn't work. Phase 2 is recognition, days 100 to 130. People start recognising patterns. Signals versus noise, stealth teams, and flow versus busy. There's some of the concepts that we've introduced. Opinions are just noise. Physics and data are signals. Fast equals chaos. Speed equals flow. We need to worry about our speed, not how fast we're going. Fast doesn't really do anything for us other than create a heap of chaos. And why we need stealth teams away from general population. Need to let the stealth team form, make it anti-fragile, and then spread what you're doing, what we're doing. I can already hear it comes back when I talk to people that have been looking at my LinkedIn posts that will mention or very specifically put those key things in, because I can hear what people are picking up on, what's coming back, what's landing and what's not. That's a feedback loop for me. So operators realise that they're seeing the same problems. You'll start to see there isn't a lot of engagement in construction school just yet, but we'll hit a tipping point soon where that will swing because of the effort we're putting. We're not worried about the outcome at the minute. We're measuring the effect. Cause. Not worried about the effect. The effect is we've got all these people engaging. Worried about the cause. What's going to cause them to engage? The captain's run being crucial to that. And we'll have a look at the engagement figures in a minute. See if we've done any better this week than we did last week. So in phase 3, which is days 130 to 160, people stop just watching. Actually, I was supposed to put this question in here today. I have to still get better at running this. So the question is, really keen to know this one. Let me put this up and then I'll ask you. $1 million question. Have you run an ORCA yet? Yes or no? Hot dog or not hot dog? Bang it in the comments. Start running ORCA themselves. That's when the community shifts from audience to practitioners. That's when a good mate, as you might have guessed, I read and use a lot of books. That's the moment when we start turning ship around. That, if you haven't read this book, get hold of it. True story, turning followers into leaders. That's exactly what we're doing by building this book and this book. You get the two of those. The similarities between the two are eerie. Very, 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 very similar. Focus on the same things. Create a learning environment, create autonomy. Let people make their own decisions. Set them up to win. Days 160 to 180, once 15 to 20 catalysts start posting their own orcalypts, you get something powerful. A distribution improvement network for construction projects. Not a course. Construction school is not a course. Don't come there to learn the technical side of building things. This is about how we deliver projects better. Eliminate the hate waste. Wasted talent. Wasted potential. It's not a course. What is coaching? It's not just coaching. It's operators improving projects in real time. Construction school isn't for everyone. It's for people who see the signal early or want to see that, improve the way that they see the signal. Refuse to ignore broken systems. I've had people say to me, Benny, I would rather work within a broken system and get my job done then I don't have time to try and fix it. All I'd say to that is the reason you don't have time to fix it is because you don't fix it. And they want to improve projects without waiting for permission. Ready to lead without authority. They are the catalysts. Catalysts work and catalysts rarely work alone. They need a support network. Otherwise they get howled down, shouted down. They just get to the point. Actually, I'll read you this. This is exactly what happens. This is the forward introduction to this book, Turn the Ship Around. Gone off track and read a few things today, but this is vitally important. You may be able to buy a person's back with a paycheck. Position. Let me read that again. You may be able to buy a person's back with a paycheck, position, power, or fear, but a human being's genuine passion, loyalty, and tenacious creativity are volunteered only, more commonly known as engagement. The world's greatest problems will be solved by passionate, unleashed volunteers, people who turn up ready to do a better job every single day. What the All Blacks talked about at the start. How do we create that environment for them? That's what the construction school community is becoming. All right. Enough. Have you run an ORCA yet? That is the $1 million question. If you haven't, I'll show you how I'll run one right now. I'm going to play, as we finish off today, that clip one more time on how you start a movement. might think it's just, these guys all talk to, want something to work and scale, must be simple. That's why that how to start a movement is so powerful. It's simple. Simple doesn't mean easy, but all right, let's do our daily ORCA. Actually, I'll give you a run. We'll run the construction school one today. New debrief. New debrief. So this is how you'll be able to just go and run this out in the field, collect data. If you're not on site, you just want to run it for yourself, you're able to do the same thing. Day 113. You can get this on the App Store. Oh, the inside ChatGPT. You just ask me for the link and I'll flick it to you. Should be public in there. You probably go and search for it yourself. And it's got that little, it's fix what, what's you. You'll be able to find it pretty easy. Reply with digits only. 113. We fix this. It is Sunday, the 15th of February, 2026. It is 12:14 p.m. and we are in Beanie's office. Have you run an ORCA yet? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't and you want some help or you want access to this GPT to step you through it, reach out. What was the objective you were trying to achieve? Today's objective was to run the O&I brief live on LinkedIn for construction school. Yes, that's the objective part. That's the O. What was the mission today? What did we need to achieve? Today we need to achieve running this session. What results did you get? We've just run through our layout for the day. Yeah. We have currently 2 people sitting on watching. We've asked the question, have you run an ORCA yet? And we're waiting to see if we get a reply and whether someone engages with that. Start the LinkedIn live briefing for construction school. 2 people are currently watching. You ask the audience if they've run ORCA before and are waiting to see if anyone responds or engages. What posed you, shit you about those results? What went wrong while trying to achieve the objective? What went wrong is... What went wrong? Let's try another one. There's still plenty of room for improvement for the way that I structure this session. I haven't really nailed that quite down yet. What shits me at the moment is it's taking longer than I expected to start getting engagement and to start getting people wanting to come on. Engagement is our key driver for everything that we're doing, because if we don't get engagement, then the whole system collapses. So it says about that. Engagement is slow and start during the live LinkedIn live briefing, and the session structure is not yet clear or refined enough to reliably trigger audience participation. Yes. What caused those results? It takes time for, and this is why most people never ever achieve anything great. Not talking about good, we're talking about great. Most people never achieve anything great because they don't give it long enough to work. Everyone's looking for a miracle hack. ORCA is the miracle hack. Turning up and doing the work every day is the miracle hack. It just doesn't happen in an instant like everyone wants it to. It doesn't happen over the night. The results aren't immediate. What's caused the slow engagement is people are busy and I just haven't built the trust or the, what would you call it? Probably haven't built the trust yet for them to turn up and go, I want to engage with this more. I want to learn more about this. Make some pretty big claims and a lot of it. And a lot of people are thinking, I haven't broken through that process that Dr. Eli Galbraith talks about yet, because the solution is counterintuitive and it conflicts with the current way that they measure what they're doing, which is busy work, removes their best excuse why they fail or why their projects are failing. And they've got a fear of blame of if they try and it fails, what happens next? Yeah, one's got thumbs down already. Which one do you fit into, buddy? One of those four for sure. What specifically caused the results? State the observable cause, not the theory. What specifically caused the slow engagement in their session? Don't have enough reach yet. It's still going to take some more time for this to build and have enough reach. Get enough people on the live. Yes. See what he did then? He said, don't hear your story. Tell me what the real problem is. Real problem is there's just not enough people turning up for the lives yet. What we do differently tomorrow, actions must be specific and observable. At the moment, there's nothing that needs to change other than we turn up, we do deliberate practice every day, and we make sure that each session's a bit better than the session before it. Be specific. Turn up and prove is not a barrel. Tomorrow I will work on the headline. Put more effort into the headline to stop people scrolling and get them to engage. Yes, see how it says gets to specifics. Will you post this ORCA summary in construction school? Yes. Let's see if this works, because this is supposed to be a clickable link now. No, still not a clickable link. So we're going to copy paste that and go and do that. So what it's done now is give me a summary that I can take across and post that into construction school now. So if we went into this one here. Oh, we need to review the metrics too. We haven't done that yet. Pop a new one up. We went to ORCA. We can post a new one in there. Put in there so it's live. All right, let's go back and have a look at our metrics because we haven't done that yet. So our dashboard says we're still growing. 107 members, which is good. Our engagement this week, last week was 24%. This week it is 26%. So that's up by 2%. Our rank. By the way too, if you want to see what your own engagement is, click on your own profile and go there. It'll give you that little heat map up the top there and show you how many times you engage with something on different days. Discovery. 5526, so we were 5532, so we've moved up a couple of spots. Nothing significant. What else does the dashboard tell us? Engagement, that's the key metrics that we're worried about at the moment. Conversion rate, I'm not worried about. Actually, watched something the other day that said down around 10% is actually better because you can get higher by just putting crazy stuff like, or you get a free $10,000 course, and of course more people are going to join. Not about getting more people to join, not just getting more people to join. I want the right people to join. All right, we're going to play how you start a movement one more time, because this is vital. I'm going to speak through it at the key points, and that will close out today's O&I. But answer that question. Have you run an ORCA yet? That's the $1 million question. What I get, the first one that does that, you'll see this point in the video, is where a lone nut transforms into a leader. That's why I keep asking for it. Let's do it.
So ladies and gentlemen, at TED we talk a lot about leadership and how to make a movement. So let's watch a movement happen, start to finish, in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons from it. First, of course you know, a leader needs the guts to stand out and be ridiculed.
So that's banning there on LinkedIn today. You've got to have that. You've got to go through that, unfortunately. This is why you need support from somewhere like construction school.
What he's doing is so easy to follow. So here's his first follower with a crucial
First follower with a crucial role. The crucial role for the first follower is to answer that question. Have you run an ORCA yet?
role. He's going to show everyone else how to follow. Now notice that the leader embraces him as an equal. So now it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Now there he is calling to his friends.
Notice it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. That's why we're introducing the captaintron.
Now if you notice that the first follower is actually an underestimated form of leadership in itself. It takes guts to stand out like that. The first follower is what transforms a lone nut into a leader.
So, two things that are going to happen for that. First is I'll get one of those questions answered, like, have you run an ORCA yet? Someone will post in the comment, yes they have, no they haven't. And the second one is when someone comes to construction school and they decide to take on the captain's run.
And here comes a second follower. Now it's not a lone nut, it's not two nuts, 3 is a crowd, and a crowd is news. So a movement must be public. It's important.
A movement must be public. That's why I do all of this stuff online, so people can see what we're doing.
Show not just the leader, but the followers, because you find that new followers emulate the followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, and immediately after, 3 more people. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point. Now we've got a movement. So notice that as more people join in, it's less risky. So those that were sitting on the fence before now have no reason not to. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, but they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry.
When you're ready to become part of the in crowd, head across, join construction school. I'll speak soon.